Hi, I'm Kate with the Productive Teacher, and today we're going to spell the OY sound with the letters OY. We use the OY spelling when we have the OY sound at the end of a syllable. Now remember, the end of a syllable isn't necessarily the end of a word. Here's how this activity works. I'm going to show you a picture and tell you a word. You are going to count the number of sounds in the word, and then we will spell each sound until we have spelled the whole word. You will want a whiteboard or a piece of scratch paper for this activity. Let's get started. This is a boy. Boy. How many sounds do you hear in the word boy? There are 3 sounds in the word boy. What's the first sound you hear? B, b. What letter makes the B sound? The letter B. What's the next sound you hear? Oy. I told you we are spelling the oy sound, O-Y. This is how you spell boy. Our next word is cowboy. Cowboy. How many sounds do you hear in the word cowboy? There are 4 sounds in the word cowboy. What's the first sound you hear? K. Now we have 2 ways to make the K sound at the beginning of a word. It can be C or K. To know which one we use, we look at our next sound. So in cowboy, we have the sound ow. Ow is spelled O-W. Ow is spelled O-W. And we have this O here that tells me we spell the K sound with the letter C. After cow, what sound do you hear? Cow, B, B. What letter makes the B sound? The letter B. What is the last sound in cowboy? Oy is spelled O-Y. This is how we spell cowboy. You will notice that boy and cowboy have the same spelling of boy. All right, our next word is joy. Joy. She's so happy. She's jumping with joy. How many sounds do you hear in the word joy? There are 3 sounds in the word joy. What's the first sound you hear? J, J. What letter makes the J sound? The letter J. What's the next sound you hear in joy? J, oy. Oy is O-Y. Now, the letter G can also make the J sound, but just like we have the C and K making the K sound, when the next letter is an O, we spell the J sound with a J most of the time. All right, our next word is oyster. Oyster. How many sounds do you hear in the word oyster? There are 4 sounds in the word oyster. What's the first sound you hear? Oy. Oy is O-Y. This is an example where oy is at the end of a syllable, but not the end of a word. What's the next sound you hear in oyster? Oys. What letter makes the S sound? The letter S. What's the next sound in oyster? Oyst. What letter makes the T sound? The letter T. And what's the last sound in oyster? Is E-R. This is how you spell oyster. Our next word is toy. Toy. How many sounds do you hear in the word toy? There are 3 sounds in the word toy. What's the first sound you hear? T, T. What letter makes the T sound? The letter T. What's the next sound you hear in the word toy? T, oy. Oy is O-Y. This is how you spell toy. Our next word is royal. Royal. How many sounds do you hear in the word royal? There are 3 sounds in the word royal. What's the first sound you hear? What letter makes the sound? R. What's the next sound you hear in royal? Oy. Oy is O-Y. And what's the last sound in royal? Royal. Ol. Now in this case, the ol sound is spelled A-L. And that's because we need a vowel to have another syllable. So royal is 2 syllables, roy-al. And we have that A to be a vowel in the second syllable. You could also split it up and say royal has 4 sounds. It has oi, ol, and that A is making the schwa sound. I hear it is combined with the L, so that's why I break it up like this. As always, do what works for you to map it in your brain so that you can spell it and read it correctly. Okay, royal was our last word on our OI word list. Thank you so much for spelling with me today. I'll see you next time.